really any way to keep the members of NIP on top of that equalizer once it comes on out. So instead, it's going to have to be about finding these lane advantages and being the ones who show up first. Down the blue buff. Karis took a rough trade in mid. Carrot looks to have committed the shockwave in order to do so. To get that shove in. Guan immediately going to pop the Cataclysm to lock down Yao Yao. Going to stop Monkey from being able to return too much damage. But Yao Yao's got health to spare. He's able to stay alive and walk on out. Shwo takes a ton of poke damage. And there's a bout over the wall. Going to force the flash out. Guan now going to be the next target. He falls for first blood. That gold goes over to a bout. But Awesome going to be able to trade right back. And not stopping there. Monkey has to pop the maximum dosage to get himself out of danger. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
Is going to be very difficult to win at this stage of the game. And Monkey being able to obviously survive, gain that healing with the ultimate, he will be able to
peek down here. I don't think Monkey's in position to be able to respond, and About is all alone. He's got no support. Dive incoming, gets hit with a polymorph, focus down, and Awesome will close out the kill. Down goes About.
This fight is not over. Here come WE.
Awesome going to be able to dash himself back on away. Monkey pops the maximum dosage.
Oh,
In goes Guan. Karis tries to shuffle him back, but connects onto nobody. The Soldier's whiff. Shockwave doesn't. Pulls back in Karis. Nearly takes down Monkey.
Continue to have a lot of trouble in the side lane here. And Karis just going to get a lot of these plates as well. This is where the NIP comp just becomes so dangerous, and Karis is just in trouble.
Yeah, there's the Orianna winning that side of the matchup we were talking about. Monkey focused down too fast. Maximum dosage will not get him out of dodge that time.
He's just a little too far forward and exploitable. It's a nice pickup from NIP. They've really regained full control of this game over the past couple of minutes with some nice plays and some great side laning. Away from that second dragon, WE getting the first. It's really important for them to keep. Karis
connects on that shuffle this time. Care forced to flash away. Nicely done, but here's Guan. Let's see what he has to say about this. He will be able to walk this one out, goes where he pleases, as Windows are apt to do. 2 versus 1 now. Awesome, trying to kite away, gets hit by the root, has to flash, still goes down. Awesome just takes an inadvisable 1v2 and drops.
It's a really, really big mistake from Awesome there. He expects his team to be a lot quicker than they actually are on the rotation, but Chuo and Guan just cannot get there in time to punish About. And that's even more gold going into the pocket of the Ezreal. And now Guan's in a tough spot in his own jungle. Again, Dragon spawning in just under a minute. Monkey going to continue to pressure out 1v3, and he got it. He's going to walk away with the blue buff.
Very nice. That's a second blue buff in a row taken by Monkey here, successfully controlling 3 buffs around the map. And Guan still up in gold, but down in CS. Those kills.
Set up now around Dragon. We could get a fight very, very quickly here.
He's starting to get chunked out, but there's going to be an engage coming on through. Shockwave combo finds its way into Yao Yao, and Care will be able to finish off the kill. Quick first blood in the fight drawn by NIP, but Monkey not going to back away. Stepping up in towards Guan. Another flag and drag comes through, About able to dodge away from it. Awesome going to mark onto it. Meanwhile, shuffle back onto Care. Not able to finish up the job. Going to be Cube flashing forward to find the Flame Spitter damage, but already Jungler down, and looks like Karis going to be joining him. Nice snipe from About. Will be able to claim the life of Awesome and turn this into a 2-for-3 in NIP's favor.
Yeah, this is a very shaky with a nice snipe onto Awesome. Could go a lot worse, but Dragon just going to go down in our picture-in-picture, and NIP will stop this.
Where they drafted to be able to be ahead at this stage. About just trying to fend them off now. Get Monkey on towards this Rift Herald. Guan not going to be able to get his way in, and Karis found a shuffle back onto Care, and very well might be able to take him out. Sure does. Solo kill to Karis.
And that is the Karis that we've been seeing so far in 2026. He picks up the solo kill, and we're going to see that Rift Herald dropped onto the top side. This is going to be a lot of gold going into the pocket of this year, but About
face checks into Awesome and Shwo, and does not win that battle. Another kill over to Awesome.
Yeah, it's 1 kill on one side of the map for another earlier, but now NIP charging down the mid lane tier 1. They're going to be able to get this very, very easily, open up the map a bit more.
Camps away from Guan, but Guan already finishing off the birds. Hoya TP's in. He's cut off from the rest of his squad. Is he tanky enough to survive the full brunt of WE? Looks like he is. Gets chunked to about half. Monkey going to take very similar damage as Awesome approaches him. out looking for some of this poke. Shwo going to blow the heal to get a little bit of movement speed and get himself out of danger. And it's an ARAM. There's going to be the engage with the Cataclysm. Equalizer layer down on top. Monkey channeling the maximum dosage, pulled back in by the Shockwave, but no follow-up. Monkey stays alive, and no bodies will hit the floor as a result of this fight. About and Cube trying to find some of that additional poke. Monkey already back to a pretty decent health total as Hoya gonna brawl with him.
That's the value of the Dr. Mundo right there. You can full engage onto this champion, but it's almost impossible to burst him down unless you have so much damage, and at this point in the game, they just don't have it quite yet. That's a big cooldown burned here for NIP. No Cataclysm for the next couple of minutes, and there are some pretty major things coming up. Of course, you've got Baron spawning on the map, but 45...
Couple of autos from Awesome for his troubles, and he will be taken just a little bit lower, still not in too much danger as they kite back towards the Dragon. Hoya and Guan up in the front line, going to start to work on a Monkey who pops the maximum dosage. Damage coming in on a Hoya. There was the Equalizer thrown on out as well. Chunks out Care.
Shockwave.
Double Shockwave in with the Cataclysm. Kara's staying alive, finally shovels them back, but will fall on down. But look at Cube. He's melted them with the Flame Spitter. Gets tons of damage back before he's forced out of the play. About staying alive. Flag and drag towards him. Needs to stand and fight. Can only claim back one before Care and Guan will finish him off through Yao Yao's shielding, and now Yao Yao, the last one alive, will have to surrender this Dragon. Additional sustain up against the poke damage of this Ezreal Karma.
Could prove important if this is going to be the game-deciding fight.
Stepping up here, Hoya behind enemy lines. Nobody sees him. He's going to be able to find the flank. About already shifted, has to flash back to the other side of the Cassante. Harris going to be able to sneak away as well, but Monkey getting focused down. Does pop the maximum dosage, is standing for the time being. Equalizer has come and gone. Didn't accomplish too much. All 5 members of WE find themselves still standing underneath this crafted Sun Disc. But how are they going to be able to keep the fight going if they think that they're favored? Just throwing out a little bit of poke damage here, but NIP, they got in, they didn't find the fight they wanted, and now they get to choose where it goes from here. Good chunk damage found into Yao Yao and About. Awesome up in the front line, once again chunking Monkey out low, and this time there's no maximum dosage to get that health bar back up. NIP control the river, and they won't let WE in.
No ult for Mundo means hard fight. NIP want to continue this exchange as long as possible.
And Monkey cut off here, going to have to flash back over the wall to avoid the damage from Awesome. And this guy is exactly as his name would imply. Nobody can step up here for WE. He melts through the sole frontliner too quickly and basically ends the fight on his own without any bodies hitting the floor.
Get some tempo in, because I was just talking about it. Vision is so important, but NIP say, we don't care about your river vision. We want some pressure on the mid lane here as they're going to shove this wave in, and now it's going to be in a decently scary spot.
First TPing, mid-wave still does matter, K-Man, and the NIP, fully cognizant of this, will maintain control over it. Equalizer comes on through, does cut off that choke. Guan tries to scoot away, but will get melted down by Karis, as that's one kill already over to the side of WE. Can they keep this fight going? No, they're going to have to let those go. Catch and release here for WE without that follow-up engage, but they have inside track on the towers, and they know they have a numbers advantage if NIP try to fight them.
NIP pincer themselves in that exchange. Guan just goes a bit too deep trying to chase About, and actually gets poked out a lot. And the moment that that TP comes in from the Azir, it becomes a very difficult exchange. Baron is started. There is no jungler on the map right now for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
20 seconds to go. I mean, this is a tough ask to try to walk in through the Azir and the Ezreal. Baron falling lower and lower. Hoya actually flashes in here looking for the big stun. Smite comes through. Monkey secures the Baron for WE. Hoya now in deep up against 5 members of WE, and he will be joining the dead. About claims the... There's no CC tools to make the Equalizer work, so Cube has to make the map work for him. Finds the opportunity there as Guan only has one path out, forces him to waste the flag and drag, and Karis is able to finish him off on that end. Now, hard pushing in mid, nobody in NIP in position to respond. They take inner turret and inhibitor turret. They're going to take the inhibitor as well. Care still hasn't gotten back. The base is cracked open. WE has spawning supers in mid. They got an inner turret in bottom as well, and they're going to take the gold lead even further.
This is huge. Teleport's coming in. Dragon is on the map. NIP still are on Soul Point, but they have to win, and they have to win now.
Gotta do it again here, WE. Engage coming on through. A little bit late from Cube, but he does arrive to the scene. Throws out the equalizer. Gets some good damage onto the team. Shuffle back from Karis, but it costs him his life. Into the GA goes Guwon. Comes back out on the other side. Hoya low. Guwon at about half. Awesome trying to push back 4 members of WE. And no Azir to dish out the damage. Monkey still trying to frontline. Throwing out some of these both cases. There's going to be a big shockwave on towards 3. About Yao Yao incredibly low. Cube trying to deal the damage. True Shot Barrage comes on across, knocks down a couple of members of NIP, but they're still standing and they're still fighting. Hoya up at the front line, looks for the third cast of Antofo strikes, but can't pull anybody back in, and About still at a safe distance away. The health bars are getting lower and lower. The poke is coming on through. About getting harassed. There's the Dragon Soul. It's secured for the side of NIP. Can they get their clap back from WE? Still shots raining on through from About, but NIP stay together. They stay joined. Guwon engages onto About able to keep himself standing for just a little bit longer, and it's going to be Monkey get the last laugh here, unless Guwon can scoot himself out to safety. NIP, they don't lose any members other than their carry, but they get the Dragon Soul.
Oh, it is such a tight fight on both. Get that dragon, but back onto live. WE do not want to let that Ocean Soul matter. They want to try and push down on the top side and end the game early.
Dragon Soul so rough here as About still looks to try to find this harass on the Ezreal. The additional regen, especially on the likes of Hoya, to make it so difficult to deal any kind of damage to this guy unless you're fully focusing him down in a teamfight context. They will be able to claim the last inner turret.
Karis on the bot side, catching that bot wave. Things are coming down. About could be caught out here. He is going to be able to get over the wall with that arcane shift, but Monkey could be the next target.
Cataclysm comes out. They just want to hold this Mundo coil as much as they can, be able to try to finish him off. Shockwave comes on out, pulls him back in. Maximum dosage is ticking away, but the damage is ticking faster. Monkey trying to run away will finally be finished off by Hoya. No jungler for W. The Baron is getting worked on here. They know that there's not going to be too much support available for the time being. No Mundo on the board means this should be easy pickings. And down goes the Baron to the likes of NIP, just as Monkey present themselves. As Paris has to be careful here. There's 3 members of NIP right in front of him. And
wait, once he gets here.
Absolutely do. So coming back from base is going to be potential outnumbered situation for NIP for a short period of time, but now Care just about in range will be able to get on over here. Hoya just soaking up this damage like it's nothing. Monkey doing his best to try to get some harassment onto Guwon, at the very least stacking up his heart steal. No engage found yet for NIP. They are the ones who get to decide when this fight starts in earnest. Hoya takes another set of harassment in the mid lane, goes down to about half. He'll be able to regen back up with his Ocean Soul over time. About doing his best to try to keep this top laner low. Monkey coming in on the flank at about half HP. Don't engage yet. Guwon just going to pop that Cataclysm.
Equalizer's huge.
Equalizer on top of it. Good damage on Care and Shuo, who are going to be forced to back on away. And Monkey still sitting pretty at about full health. Now trying to keep that fight going. Awesome going to step on up towards Monkey. Starts to pump out all of the autos he's got to knock Monkey to about half HP. And the rest of WE are forced to retreat. The cooldowns are starting to affect him here, and they are getting chunked lower and lower as this fight continues on. There's going to be the Sun Disc thrown down behind them, but they are already working with their minion wave on towards this mid inhibitor turret. NIP get behind them. WE looking to get this fight started, looking to try to cut off NIP and see what they can possibly do to pick somebody off, but they stay together, and once again they are able to create themselves an outward path.
Yeah, they are able to survive what is a very precarious situation. Both of these teams playing on a knife's edge right now, but it's NIP who walk out with all the advantages. Teleport coming in. The fight could happen right now. Monkey staring up.
Hoya going to look for the engage right off the bat of the TP, is just stepping forward, looking to stun anybody he can find. Maybe it'll be Monkey. Monkey able to space it on out, but Hoya's just so tanky. He absorbs About and Karis' damage all day long. WE now with the inside track towards mid. They're going to see if they can take an inhibitor of their own, but they can't get out of here. It's a flash shockwave. Hoya not able to find Karis as he does manage to stasis it, does manage to push them back outside of the Cataclysm, and Karis stays alive, popping Guwon's Guardian Angel once again, but nobody going to fall from NIP. Guwon is escorted out to safety. Care stays alive as well. WE cannot claim the kills. the Ocean Soul and continually coming back in for more. About trying to find somebody who these continued Mystic shots will deal some damage to, but Guan and Hoya have been intercepting them all fight long. Monkey now isolated by Awesome. Gonna get chunked down very, very low. They need to buy Monkey the time he needs to be able to rejoin the health back up, and NIP are not slowing down. Ocean Soul at their back means they can keep this fight chugging.
Cube on the flank, Cube on the flank. You gotta watch out for this Rumble, and Equalizer could turn things around. They have the healing, but we saw what it could do in the last fight.
To wait for NIP to commit so that the Equalizer can still have its maximum value, or they can just throw it on out right here. NIP going to back on away. Hoya cut off from the rest of the team a little bit. Monkey still sitting here at low HP totals, but it's still a pretty good amount. Karis is knocked up. He's isolated, and Awesome will claim that kill. That could be the opportunity NIP have been waiting for to be able to step up into this Elder. Big True Shot barrage comes on through. Yao Yao pulled back in by the Shockwave, and Awesome popping off in the fight will finally be taken down. About claims himself a double kill. Hoya fighting with Cube on the opposite side, and it's Hoya who's going lower and lower, but Shuo showing up for the backup. Cube still able to take down his top lane counterpart. Monkey able to secure the Elder Dragon. How has WE managed to finagle a way out of this? True Shot barrage goes wide, but Monkey is able to interrupt Care's recall, executes him with the Elder Dragon, and About is on a solo mission towards the Nexus.
He's looking to end the game. He doesn't care about the way that things have been set up. It was Ezreal or bust, and the Ezreal is coming through as he marches down the Nexus solo and ends this game for WE.
They can't keep getting away with it, K-Man. How do WE win these games down such ridiculous amounts of gold? About finds another execute in the fountain.